Hello everyone, welcome back. We were talking about classification of bacteria. In the previous video we discussed about the phylum, different phylums of bacteria, and in this video we are going to discuss about the actinobacteria. Okay, so let's start discussing. So this picture you can see in your screen now is actually got from Wikipedia. Is a very good picture of seeing actinobacteria under the microscope. And to start with, we will first know that Actinobacteria is a gram-positive bacteria, the very basic fact. It is a gram-positive bacteria. Okay, so just to revise, let us just draw the cartoonish structure of the gram-positive bacteria again. So it will be a good revision. Okay, so for a gram-positive bacteria, it shows positive result to the gram staining test. Therefore it actually traps the CVI complexes. So for it to trap the CVI complexes, if we think logically, then on the outside there will be a cell wall like this, and then there will be the cell membrane, only one cell membrane. So when we put the crystal violet, it enters the cell wall and gets trapped into the cell membrane, and when we wash it with alcohol, the cell membrane doesn't get washed because it has a covering of the cell wall. If you find it to be confusing, then watch the video on the gram staining procedure. Okay, so that's the cell wall, then the cell membrane, and then we will have the genetic material and all those things as always. So that's a quick recapitulation. Circular genetic material. Okay, so let's make it circular. That's a quick recapitulation that it's a gram-positive bacteria and it has a structure like this. So what is another point about actinobacteria? Actinobacteria is also called actinomycetes, and from mycetes, it one of the order of actinobacteria. It is a phylum, and one of the order inside it now is actinomycetes. And from mycetes, what you remember maybe fungi. And to connect the links, let me tell you that this bacteria looks awfully lot like fungi. Okay, why? Because this bacteria has mycelium like that of fungi. This bacteria decomposes the organic material, dead and decaying organic material, and uh, helps plant to retake the nutrients from the soil after decomposing, like that of the fungi. So all those things this bacteria does is just like that of the fungi. So in the old days, when people didn't used to understand much of this classification and phylogeny, they actually used to classify this actinobacteria under fungi. So this was also called ray fungi. So previously, this was previously called sorry called, I don't know what happened to my L, called ray fungi. So that's a nice fact. Okay, so now we know that quite a bit about this actinobacteria. Now let us look at the habitat of this actinobacteria, and it is not much anything special is not there in it. It is actually both living in aquatic as well as terrestrial environments. Aquatic as well as terrestrial. Aquatic as well as terrestrial. Okay, so another feature of this actinobacteria is that it has a high GC content. So what do I mean by GC content? Look at this genetic material. This genetic material is filled with GC repeats. Okay, so G means guanine, as you all know, and C means cytosine. So that's filled in this genetic material, and that gives extra stability to this genetic material. Why? Because G and C binds with three hydrogen bonds, as we know. So if that's the case, then this genetic material is extra stable with extra energy due to the hydrogen bonds. Okay, extra attractive energy. Okay, less potential energy if we go to much of that physics, which I don't want to go right now. Okay, so let me write that point also. So here we go. High GC content is another feature of this class, or this phylum, sorry. High GC content. Okay, and now the last thing we need to know about this one is that some important genera of this phylum. So to inform you that this phylum actually accounts for most of the antibiotics. So what are antibiotics? Antibiotics are, as we commonly hear the term antibiotics, and to define antibiotics we will say antibiotics are the chemical substances which are produced by these bacteria or fungi to pro- uh, to to uh, to kill other bacteria or fungi. Okay, so I made it up from my mind. Anyways, so this Actinobacteria has a genera called Streptomyces. So Streptomyces actually has a lot of antibiotics. Okay, Streptomyces, the genera Streptomyces contains a lot of species which secrete as a metabolic product a lot of antibiotics which are useful to us, obviously. So let's write it. Streptomyces. Streptomyces can secrete, if it is the right word, okay, secrete may be the right word, a lot of antibiotics. What are some examples of the antibiotics? Some examples can be like tetramycin, which is secreted by Streptomyces remosus, erythromycin, secreted by Streptomyces erythrus. So matching. Streptomycin, secreted by Streptomycin griseus. Chloromycetin, secreted by Streptomycin venezuelae, and neomycin, secreted by Streptomycin fradii. So all these, you can see the generalized Streptomyces. Okay, and these are some of the useful antibiotics which are secreted. Okay, and another last thing you should know about this phylum is that the reproduction of this phylum, and the reproduction is actually done by conidia. So what is conidia? Conidia are spore-like structures that are formed in the basipetal manner. Okay, so it is formed in a basipetal manner from the down to up in chins and the apex of the conidiophores. So conidiophores is a structure which contains the conidia, and each conidium gives rise to a new bacterium or to a new actinobacteria. Okay, so let me write it also. So reproduction through conidia. Okay, so you may ask that what about this conidia? We have studied reproduction in bacteria. We have learned about binary fission, the endospore formation, cyst formation. We have not discussed about conidia. So to tell you that this conidia is actually a special type of reproduction. It is an asexual reproduction. And if you have not discussed it yet, let me give a brief introduction about this conidia first. Okay, a brief introduction of what happens actually. It is not much to be dealt about. So if this is a bacteria, I'm drawing it in circular shape. Then actually this conidia is, let me take the example of Streptomyces bacteria, which we are talking about the secretion of antibiotics. So if this is a bacteria, it will actually pinch a portion of the cytoplasm and out. Okay, so it will pinch a cytoplasm portion out. So this two cells will be formed. Okay, so you can see two cells will be formed like this, and then these two cells will grow. Okay, this cell will not grow, but the parent cell will grow and again pinch another portion out. So after doing it several times, you will find some small portions are like this, pinched out. Okay, so these are the conidia or the conidiospores. Okay, so this one of that can give rise to a bacteria. So if this is the parent bacteria, let me write it over here, which doesn't matter also that much. May have understood that, but this is the parent bacteria. So and the structures, the small, this is the large one. So this is the parent bacteria, and the small ones behind them, which are actually produced by the parent bacteria, are the conidiospores. Okay, so this one can give rise to one bacteria when it detaches off. Okay, so that was all about the Actinobacteria phylum. In the next video, we will probably discuss about the, let's see what we have next. We will probably discuss about the Firmicutes. Okay, so bye. See you in the next video.